You are sitting at your desk. Again, the emails keep coming. The calendar keeps filling. The requests keep landing in your lap like they always do. And somewhere beneath the productivity, beneath the performance, there is a whisper, a quiet, almost imperceptible plea from a part of you that has been waiting for permission to slow down, to feel, to rest, but you do not listen because you were taught not to. You were taught to just keep going. I am Dr. Hannah. I have spent 22 years as a personal and family relationship coach working with people of all ages and backgrounds. And one of the most heartbreaking patterns I see is this: people who have been praised their entire lives for endurance, for resilience, for pushing through, only to realize decades later that they have no idea who they are underneath all that movement. If you have ever felt hollow despite being productive, if you have ever felt lonely even when surrounded by people, if you have ever asked yourself, why does nothing feel like enough? This video is for you, because the cost of just keep going is not exhaustion, it is disconnection. Disconnection from yourself. Let me name what no one else has named for you. You are not lazy for wanting rest. You are not weak for feeling overwhelmed. You are not ungrateful for questioning whether this pace is sustainable. What you are experiencing is something I call achievement-void-dissociation. It is the emotional and psychological state that occurs when you override your internal signals so consistently that you lose access to them entirely. Your body says stop. You keep going. Your heart says grieve. You keep going. Your intuition says question. You keep going. And over time, those signals do not get louder. They get quieter. They stop trying. And what you are left with is a life that looks successful on paper, but feels empty in your chest. Sound familiar? Here is what I have learned in over 2 decades of working with high-achieving, self-abandoning people. The just keep going mentality does not make you stronger. It makes you numb. And numbness is not resilience. It is self-protection that has calcified into a prison. From a nervous system perspective, what happens when you chronically override your internal cues is this: your body begins to perceive itself as unsafe, not because of external threat, but because you, the one person who should be advocating for your needs, are ignoring them. Your nervous system learns that your signals do not matter, that your fatigue does not warrant rest, that your grief does not warrant space, that your doubt does not warrant reflection. And when that happens, something profound shifts. You stop feeling, not because you want to, but because feeling has become too dangerous. Because if you allowed yourself to feel the exhaustion, you might have to stop. If you allowed yourself to feel the loneliness, you might have to admit that something is wrong. If you allowed yourself to feel the anger, you might have to set a boundary. So instead, you just keep going. And you call it discipline. You call it responsibility. You call it strength. But it is not strength. It is self-abandonment. Want to know how this pattern plays out in your daily life? Let me show you. You wake up tired. Not the kind of tired that sleep fixes. The kind of tired that lives in your bones. The kind that whispers, I cannot do this again. But you do it again because you have a meeting, because people are counting on you, because stopping feels like failing. So you override the signal, you drink the coffee, you put on the professional face, and you show up. Again, later, you notice a tightness in your chest, a heaviness you cannot name. Something wants to be felt, something wants to be heard, but you do not have time for it. You have deadlines, you have obligations, you have a reputation to uphold, so you push it down. You tell yourself you will deal with it later, but later never comes, because by the time later arrives, you have already moved on to the next task, the next crisis, the next performance. At night, you lie in bed. Your body is exhausted, but your mind will not stop. It replays every conversation, every mistake, everything you could have done better. And beneath all of that noise, there is a question, a quiet, persistent question. Is this all there is? But you do not let yourself answer it. Because if you did, you might have to confront the truth that you have been moving so fast you forgot to check if you were moving toward anything that actually mattered to you. This is what just keep going costs you. It costs you access to yourself, to your needs, to your desires, to your truth. It costs you the ability to distinguish between what you want and what you have been conditioned to want, between what you feel and what you think you should feel, between who you are and who you have been performing as. And here is the most insidious part. You do not even realize it is happening, because achievement-void-dissociation does not announce itself. It does not show up as a crisis. It shows up as a flatness, a dullness, a sense that life is happening to you rather than through you. You are present, but you are not here. You are functioning, but you are not alive. You perform for your inner critic. You edit your desires before you even feel them. You punish yourself for being human, for needing rest, for wanting more, for questioning the path you are on. And the worst part, no one sees it, because you have gotten so good at hiding it, so good at smiling through the emptiness, so good at functioning through the disconnection, but you feel it in the quiet moments, in the spaces between tasks, in the mirror, when you catch a glimpse of yourself and do not recognize the person staring back. You feel it, and you wonder if this is just what adulthood is, if this is just what responsibility feels like, if everyone else is also walking around feeling this hollow. They are not, or at least they do not have to be, and neither do you. I know that is a lot to sit with, but here is the good news. You can rebuild your relationship with yourself. You can learn to listen to your internal signals again. You can reconnect with the part of you that has been waiting patiently for you to come home. And it starts with one small daily act of loyalty to yourself. I want you to try something tonight, before bed. Find somewhere quiet, somewhere you will not be interrupted. Turn off your phone. Close the door, and place your hand on your heart. Feel the rise and fall of your breath. And then ask yourself this question out loud. What have I been ignoring? Do not try to answer it with your mind. Let your body answer. Maybe it is exhaustion. Maybe it is grief. Maybe it is anger. Maybe it is a desire you have been too afraid to name. Whatever comes up, do not judge it. Do not fix it. Just acknowledge it. Say it out loud. I have been ignoring my exhaustion. I have been ignoring my grief. I have been ignoring my anger. I have been ignoring my desire. And then say this, I am listening now. This is a somatic practice. It works through your body, not just your mind. Because your nervous system does not believe your thoughts. It believes your actions. And this simple act of pausing, of placing your hand on your heart, of asking yourself what you have been ignoring, sends a signal to your nervous system that says, you matter. Your signals matter. I am here for you. Do this every night for a week and notice what shifts. Notice if it gets easier to identify what you are feeling. Notice if you start catching yourself in the moment when you are about to override a signal. Notice if you start making small choices that honor yourself instead of abandoning yourself. Because here is what I want you to understand. You are not meant to just keep going. You are meant to live fully, presently, authentically. And living requires feeling. It requires slowing down enough to know what you actually want. It requires being brave enough to admit when something is not working. It requires trusting that you are worthy of rest, of care, of attention, not because you have earned it, but because you exist. The world does not need another person who has mastered the art of endurance. The world needs you, the real you, the one who feels deeply, the one who questions boldly, the one who knows that slowing down is not weakness, it is reclamation. So if you are tired of performing, if you are tired of pretending, if you are tired of moving through life without actually being in it, hit subscribe. Because every week I create videos that remind you of this. You are not broken. You are not too much. You are not failing. You are human, and your humanity deserves to be honored, not someday, today.